Make no mistake about it, this is a distraction. This is also, not only, but it is also an effort to distract the fans from what has gone on, which is the most boring team in baseball found a way this year to be even more boring. I'm sorry to be like a wet blanket today. I can't wait to watch him hit either, but this is not the right way to do it. It's just not. This is not, and that's my big thing today. We can all, scratch our head about Raffy Devers and Willy Adames. We can scream at Buster Posey. The bottom line is, from a tactical, strategic standpoint, the San Francisco Giants have completely screwed the start of this season up absolutely sideways. You pulled a manager from Tennessee, gave him no closer, and now you pull up your prized number one top prospect who was 14 for his last 28 down on the farm. You pull him up and then tell this rookie manager out of Rocky Top that he's got to either go tell Devers or Adames or Chappie or Arise. Yeah, so we're going to just do a little rotation now. We're going to spin the wheel every night. Find out which one of you has to watch the game. Again, is it doable? I'm not sitting here all up into anybody's feelings, but that is not ideal. That is not the way that you treat your prized people. So they have done some of their prized people wrong here so far.
Well, the prized people have done Vitello wrong, because this wouldn't be an issue if Adames and Devers were Adames and Devers. You wouldn't even have to worry about it, because Willy Adames is a guy who plays in 160 or 161, whatever it is, but you're not playing well enough to earn that. And Devers the same thing. So I'm sorry, but hard choices have to be made.
Oh, no doubt.
When you've got, your stars are struggling and you have to go to AAA to bring up some bats because you guys can't hit.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm not saying that because of the circumstances that have arrived, I'm not saying I wouldn't have done this. They had to do something. But let's not be naive. This is not, and this is the other piece of it that I really don't like. I didn't want it to be about this. When Bryce Eldridge came up, I wanted it to be about baseball. If you think that this is 100% about baseball, I got some crap to sell you across the world, okay? The San Francisco Giants, they just decided on this day, when they're on a flight home, getting ready to sell tickets for a week where many, at least collegiately, are starting to get out of school. And the weather is about to be amazing this week. No, wait till you see this weekend. It's going to be hot. It's going to be beautiful out there. We got giveaways coming up with the Buccos in town. We got all this coming up.
And also $5 tickets. I'm sure you got the email. So, the Giants are thinking, boy, we are struggling. We don't score. Our stars don't hit. Our ace is not really an ace right now. What do we do? $5 tickets. Bring up Bryce.
Exactly.
Bring up Jesus.
So in addition to this being about a message to the team, in addition to this being about injecting life, in addition to the fact that Rodriguez and Eldridge have both played really well and probably on some level deserve it, make no mistake about it, this is a distraction. This is a distraction. This is also, not only, but it is also an effort to distract the fans from what has gone on, which is the most boring team in baseball found a way this year to be even more boring. It's unbelievable. We sat here before the year started, and the one thing I thought that this team could hang its hat on was that the infield was going to hit.
Yep.
Wow, were they going to hit. And I was right at second base, mildly sort of okay over at third. But good Lord, this is a distraction from your two biggest contracts in the history of the organization. Have an OPS that barely combines to get to the number 1,000.
That's crazy.
That is what this is, in part, is a distraction from that.
And both of those guys are signed into the 2030s, which I don't even know if that's a thing. We're in 2026, I get it, but I think it's Devers is signed until 2033, and Adames is 2031.
That's correct.
2033, Mark, you're going to have no kids at home. Even little man's going to be in college.
Wow, that put a different spin on it for me.
but 2033. And I knew that the Devers deal on the back end would be a little wonky.
Sure.
But I didn't think it'd be within the first year.
Well, and let's not, I'm actually not ready to say that that's just decided, that Raffy Devers is now done.
But
do you know what I mean?
If you want to look at the golf analogy through, 1/7 of his time here with the Giants, through 3 holes of golf, he's like 5 over.
Yeah, there's a double bogey in there. There's definitely at least one double bogey in there. Last year was fine. It wasn't amazing, but it was good enough, especially when you're changing teams mid-year, you're changing leagues, you're going to a tough ballpark to hit in. I was able to get my head around last year. This year, no. And a lot of people have pointed to the fact he's always a slow starter and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so fingers crossed, hope there. But does the slow starter thing explain an annual drop in swing velocity? Does that explain that? Because that's a fact. It's not just like, I'm out of sync. His swing is getting slower every year, and he has not turned 30 yet, at least according to what we're told.
Right.
Which I know that's the fun. I don't want to get into that either. The internet decided this week that he's 35 and not 29.
Right.
And so what? I have no idea. This followed Pujols to the Angels and all of those things. I don't know, but the bottom line is his metrics right now, and not in terms of bat to ball rate, just like his physical
swing
movements are going down every year. Fact.
Is he hurt? Is he?
I don't know.
Is he just guessing? Is he in a funk? I don't know either. But you start to look at a sample size, and 140 plate appearances is not a ton, but it's not nothing. And you look at that's like about a fourth of the year, or coming up on a fourth of the season, where you get 600 plate appearances. And if the swing is slow and the hard hit rate is down and the home runs are almost non-existent, he has 2. And you as an offense have almost none, so it becomes even more glaring. But when you're the star of the team, and he and Adames you're the highest paid guys, you got to carry the water.
Chris in Santa Clara, hi. Thank you for calling Willy and Dibby. What you doing today?
Hey, I think you guys are slightly incorrect. I think this is completely about baseball. This is a last place team. It's an Angels quality team. It's a Rockies quality team. And so, of course, they've got to do some things to, make it interesting for fans. And, with Eldred coming up, hey, if he's able to stay with the team and he hits 240 for the rest of this year, which is, maybe I think people would say, hey, that's a super big success. It's better to have him up at the big league level, get some practice, be out there, have the fans have something to cheer for, and to just kind of shift gears that this is not a team that's a top 4 team. Because I think we have to stop calling it the top 6, because you really don't get top 6. It's 1 for each division plus 3. And the Giants know that they've got 0 chance of finishing first. So are they really going to be one of the remaining top 3? Yeah, not likely. There's 9 teams that don't make it. They're going to be one of the 9. Why not make these changes? And, the question I have for you guys is, for somebody like a Devers, and I'm not hating on him, but just on a practical basis, given the length of the contract, are there any teams in the MLB that would take the entire contract? The Giants wouldn't have to pay a single penny of it for the rest of the contract, and they can get 2 draft picks in 2029.
No. Period. Absolutely, unequivocally, no. There were a lot of people who already thought it was crazy that the Giants did it last year, and that's when he was raking. And Chris, with all due respect, I think your point is spot on, except for you made my point. Like when you say this is about baseball, and then you launched into all the reasons why it would be fun for the fans to see Bryce. That's not baseball. That's entertainment, and that's my point. My point is this: Bryce is not coming up because the Giants are like, you know what? We've got a great player in AAA and a wide open position for him to play. No, they don't. They're actually sitting here probably yanking hair out the sides of their heads trying to figure out how to get all these guys in the lineup every night. So it is very much for the fans. And that's not baseball. That's the entertainment side.
I mean, it's baseball if it comes up and plays well, but also what you were talking about, which is, the old game of musical chairs, where you've got 6 people in 5 chairs and you go round and round. That's kind of what Tony Vitello's doing right now.
You think it's Devers who's sitting tonight?
Yes, tonight. It's a righty on righty. You sit Devers.
Righty on righty. You said Adames.
No, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
So wait, you think Adames or
yes,
Devers?
I think it's Adames.
I do too.
Devers, I mean, he owns this guy.
I,
He's got a home run.